And here we go. What's up, guys? Dean Gornitis Unleash This Book Reviews, talking to you about the newest in contemporary literature. I also read a lot of classic literature. Sometimes I read comic books. A few weeks ago I finished a biography. So really whatever my tastes are feeling is what I talk to you about. This week I am talking to you about Chuck Palahniuk's newest short story, a Kindle single known as Phoenix. Chuck Palahniuk, Phoenix. Now, I've heard some people pronounce Palahniuk's last name differently than how I'm saying it, so show me a YouTube video or a link that shows the author pronouncing it the way it's supposed to be pronounced, and I will use it that way from now on. But until then, Palahniuk is how I'm gonna go. Now, I've written up all sorts of notes on this one because I got a lot to say, and here we go. Phoenix is a 26-page short story. It's for sale in the Kindle Single section of your Kindle for 99 cents. It was published in February of 2013, so just a few months ago. And basically it details the story of a husband and a wife who are in not that great of a marriage and a daughter that they have who is blind. And in typical Palahniuk fashion, the author leaves out a majority of the details on why the marriage is sort of in shambles, why the daughter is pregnant, blind, watching too much Teen Mom 2, thanks a lot, girlfriend. Yeah, and just leaves out a lot of details to be discovered later on as you read in the story to kind of keep you hooked and gripped and make you keep reading, which I have to say works. You know, you're interested in the details, but at the same time, it's nothing new from this author. He almost always uses this tactic, and I'm just kind of bored with the same old from this guy, and that's sort of the main problem I have with this story, and I'll continue on with those points. Shock tactics, per usual, are loaded in this book. Palahniuk always uses shock tactics. It's part of his edgy style in his work to kind of really grip those 16 to 22, 3, 4-ish year old readers that he really, you know, is the main fan base of his readership. Yeah, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's a gross disease that he goes into detail about that at first I thought couldn't have been real. I ended up Wikipediaing it. Finding out that it was real has completely terrorized my mind now, and I'm constantly thinking about this disease, and I'm not even going to tell you about it. But it exists, and it is a problem, and thanks a lot, Chuck, for letting me know about something that I have no control over and just something else I have to freakily think about all the time and not be able to sleep because of. Like I said, per usual, Chuck, just creep you out, right? He also details the death of a cat in a very extreme and gruesome fashion. Just gross, and it seems like he does this kind of stuff in all of his books. Again, it's that edginess that he wants to go for, and I've nailed it down. I don't know why he always has to be so, you know, twisted in everything that he does. A couple quotes that he throws in for no reason. You know, if you're gonna use swear words in your books, I don't have a problem with that, but have a purpose in it. And in this story, for no reason at all, if you read it, you'll know when you get to it. He has the neighbors next door in a hotel room yell out the words, F me in the A, and the real words are there, but this is a family YouTube channel we're sharing here, so no reason for this. It's just edgy, and it makes, you know, 16-year-old readers say, oh, look at the book I'm reading, he drops F-bombs in it, and it's just not needed. It's not needed. Get it out of there. He also uses this quote, which really reminds me of like when I read Invisible Monsters, just full of quotes for, like, you know, Twitter profiles and stuff for high school kids to live by. It goes, there were lies that marry two people more effectively than any wedding vows. Ooh, wow, yeah, that's really, ooh, that hits to the core. I don't know, man. As you can tell, I'm just not really impressed by Palahniuk, and I've heard that this short story was different, that it was actually kind of funny, takes a different path than what his other works kind of go at, and I guess there's a little humor in this, but for the most part, it's dark, it's twisted, per usual, in your normal Chuck Palahniuk books. I have two last questions I want to bring up for you guys if you do decide to read this. One, what is with the author's affinity with burning houses? There's a house that gets engulfed in flames in this story. The same thing happens in Invisible Monsters. I don't understand. When he was a child, did his house burn down? It seems like an odd thing to continually use in your stories. Secondly, at 2 points in this story, he refers to a phone call that the wife is making. She calls her husband and the phone rings 26 times. Now you tell me when was the last time you made a phone call that rang 26 times before it hit voicemail. I don't think that happens. Secondly, he calls her neighbor and the phone rings 19 times. Why is this detail included in this story? I don't understand random details that are unnecessary. If you feel that this detail had some important aspect on the story, fine. Tell me about it in the comments. I want to hear about it, but to me, it just seemed unnecessary. To wrap it all up in a sentence, if you're a Chuck Palahniuk fan and you love his works, there's plenty here that you're gonna like too. If you're not huge on Palahniuk, like me, I'm not really impressed with him anymore. Was a much bigger fan, you know, my first year of college and high school. You're not gonna find anything really new here that's gonna interest you or make you change your mind on the author. That's about all I got for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe with me to my channel above if you like what you watch here. You can follow me on Twitter at unleash_this. Yeah, that's about all I got. Leave comments below on what you think of this story, if you're gonna pick it up, what you think about Kindle Singles maybe, and the cheap price points that they go for. Books that you're reading, books that you'd like to see me read, all that stuff, right? Alright, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.